What's up, Internet? Welcome to Life Lessons with Bow to the Tao. I feel like I haven't done one of these in forever. I miss you all so much. So, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being here today. We are talking a little bit about depression. I am not diagnosed with depression. Maybe I was when I was like 14 or something, but I know there are so many people out there that have depression or diagnosed with it, take medications for it, whatever. I myself try not to take medications most of the time, so anything that I do have, perhaps have depression, which is totally possible, I'm not taking anything for. I've been feeling it a lot recently, as you may know, as you may have noticed from a severe lack of videos for a while. So most of us don't know, but I had my girlfriend was in the hospital recently, and we've kind of just been trying to get our lives back on track. Oh man, I really hope that was recording that whole time. Yikes. Guess we'll check after. Maybe I'll have to do it again. That would be very sad. Yeah, that got me all off on a tangent. So my girlfriend was in the hospital for a while, and that is definitely kind of what set things off. We're trying to get our life back on track, trying to get everything back to normal, but since then, I've been feeling down. I haven't been wanting to do things. I get all these thoughts in my head that are like, man, things are not working, you don't have enough money, your job doesn't make you enough, you don't have this or that, you aren't eating healthy, there's no reason, like, why are we trying? We're already down here. And it's been soul crushing. It's been soul crushing for a while, and I was giving into it and just listening to those thoughts for the longest time as well. And I think that's part of the issue. Like I said, I don't take medications for pretty much anything. I try not to if I don't have to. And so I'm trying to figure out how to fight depression naturally, or whatever is in my head, these negative thoughts at the very least, if it's not depression. If you give in and you just accept it, then it's like giving up. You're like, yeah, my brain's right. There's nothing to do here. Let's just be sad, right? Let's just be sad. Or you can try and argue with your depression and be like, oh, right, I don't have this, but I could work my way. I could try and save up, or I could, I know this isn't great right now, but if I work toward, and it turns out arguing with your depression is just like accepting that it's real and that it's here, and then it just like keeps coming and keeps sending you new things. You're like, oh, well, if you weren't sad about that, then then let me tell you something. Let's hear about this. This is a little bit too high. I need to bring this down a little bit. But before I do, look, one of my friends made me this sweet Ninetales poster for my birthday. He painted the big card up himself based on the actual card that's down there in the corner. That was so nice of him. That was really cool. I love it. But let's bring this down a little bit so that my whole head can be on screen. So we can either give into the depression and we can just accept all the things it's telling us. We can argue with the depression, which it's really hard to do. You can't like out talk it. You can't out reason your depression. It's not a reasonable thing. Or we can try and distract from it, I guess, and your brain will, you know, your brain has a hard time focusing on all these things at once. And that's part of the issue with depression is or with negative thoughts even. I don't know if I should keep saying depression because, again, I don't know if I have it. But if you let your brain focus on the depressing thoughts, then that's all you get. If you argue with it, your brain is still on the depressing thoughts, and so that's really not any better. And then like option 3 would be to attempt to distract from it. You know, we find something to do, right? A fidget toy or a video game, or preferably something that's making some sort of progress, right? You don't tell your negative thoughts like, yeah, well, I'm gonna start going to the gym every day because of this. I want to get over this. You just like start doing it. You're like, you know what, let's go to the gym today, because while you're working out, then you're not busy thinking about those things, even though they're still there. They don't just disappear. But you can find things to do to fill your time, to try and like focus on other things besides those negative thoughts. And I think that's about the best that I have to work with. Just like, yes, these negative thoughts are here, but I'm gonna find something that's beneficial to me to do instead, right? I can't think about the negative thoughts and make a healthy meal and exercise and stuff at the same time. It's like, keep yourself busy so that your brain is distracted from it, right? So the negative thoughts that flow in, I attempt to almost use it like a goal setting list, right? All these things flow in. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right, totally. Yep. And then at some point it's like, well, how can I change these things if I have, you know, poor physique, I'm fat, then like, what can I do? I can take walks. I can go to the gym. I can exercise some way, right? Take up a class. And if I can convince myself at some point, which I know is probably the hardest part, convince myself at some point to just go to a class, just go to the gym. Once you're actively doing something else, I feel like that helps a lot when your brain is too busy to think about the negative thoughts, right? So it's hard because depression is real, and you can't just you don't just climb out of it, right? Somehow it's like, it's here, and then for some people, or for me at least, I feel like sometimes it's here and sometimes it's not, and I'm feeling all right. And something triggers, negative thing happens, and we have this downward spiral. And like, how do I climb back up? It's by it's kind of by listening, right? Like a meditative thing. Like, yeah, what are you thinking? Let me take note of all these things, because my brain, you're right. Those are all very important things. Let's take a note of that. And how do we try and get past these things? Because I don't want to think those things. I want to try and correct them. So it's almost like I made a list of the tally things, and one of them was like, wow, you haven't made a YouTube video in a couple months, maybe. I don't know how long it's been. I didn't want to check, because that would make me sad. That would be giving in. Instead, I'm here making a new video because, well, hey, now I've made a YouTube video. Look, problem solved. The lighting could be a little better, clearly. I should have turned on that one back there. But depression and negative thoughts makes things harder. Your brain is built to keep you safe. Your brain is built to think these things, but we can't give into it. We have to use it to our advantage, which giving advice about depression never seems to work, but that's kind of how I'm handling mine at this point in this moment, is looking at what my brain is saying, acknowledging it instead of pushing it away or arguing with it, and then just in an attempt to keep my brain busy so that I'm not thinking those things, I'm trying to implement some sort of solution to one of the problems that my brain has told me that we have. Like a little list of goals. So taking the sad thoughts and using it as a way to try and propel myself forward a little bit. I'm hoping to try and get back into the swing of things, come up with a new series to do so that I can hang out with you guys again. That will help me. And we'll be back. We'll keep pushing through. Everything is fine. I'm not going to be answering any questions about what happened with Celia or anything. Just so everybody knows, you might as well just leave that off. But we are still here. We are still fighting, and we are still going to be improving. I haven't done a life lesson video in a long time, so I'm actually a little bit excited about this. And I hope my advice comes over well, can help somebody else, because it semi works for me. It takes a long time. It's not an instant fix, and I don't think anybody should be expecting an instant fix, which is part of why I don't take medication, blah 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 blah. I'm trying to skip over all of this, but that brings us to the end of my ramblings. I've been feeling down. I've had some life things happen. My brain is telling me that we got some serious problems, and we're in progress of attempting to help my brain not think that anymore. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one, but until then, don't forget to have fun. Peace.